Nick, I saw you put Washington's Romeo Odunze in your squad. I cover the Chargers. Do you feel like he's worthy of the number 5 pick? Is it Malik Nabers or maybe even Brock Bowers? I've even seen some where the Cardinals end up trading out so that somebody can come up and draft a quarterback, and then it could be Marvin Harrison Jr. Just where do you kind of see the Chargers there at the number 5 pick?
Yeah, I'm a little torn there because I was a big Gerald Everett guy in the past, and I like the tight end situation with the Chargers has been very fluid in the last few years because like Hunter Henry couldn't stay healthy and then he bounced and Gerald Everett's headed to free agency and they have Stone Smart and Donald Parham and I think they like them both, but neither of them are very special. So like if you add a special talent, that's Brock Bowers, right? But you spend the 5th overall. I mean, he's an incredible player, and it's not a super surprise if he were to go 5th. Like some people think he's the best player in the entire draft, and if you get him at 5, you get him at 5. But we've also watched Atlanta waste Kyle Pitts for 2-3 years. And not saying that Jim Harbaugh is going to do that, and especially with Justin Herbert, but I am just a little hesitant to take tight ends that high. I like the idea of a trade to accrue more capital. It's not necessarily that you need you're not working with an entirely barren cupboard, but there are some areas that you could address. It's a weird spot at receiver for the Chargers because they spent a pick on Quentin Johnston last year who couldn't make a play to save his life. And you have Keenan Allen and, you've relied on Mike Williams, and it's almost like you're drafting not a position of privilege or surplus because they needed guys to step up and make plays like Johnston last year and they didn't. But I feel like that could maybe potentially be used elsewhere. I've seen them mocked to do a number of different things. I want to say, I think DJ had them taking a tackle. I want to say he had them taking Joe Alt. Yeah, Joe Alt from Notre Dame, which would be wild to have Slater and Alt, like your bookend tackles. Because look, let's face it, Justin Herbert hasn't been protected very well in the last couple of years. Yeah. And injuries are the main reason he got completely derailed last year. And that should be priority number 1 instead of going for the toy. But at the same time, you're in a position where you can kind of do whatever you want. So I think it comes down to their board and whether they rate guys, worth that pick and how we'll see that, kind of unfold. It's going to be interesting. But the good thing is they have a quarterback. So like they don't have to worry about like if you look at the first 4 pick, like DJ's mock draft has Caleb 1, Drake May 2, Marvin Harrison 3 to the Patriots, Malik Nabers 4 to the Cardinals, and then they can do whatever they want. Like right there, you have 2 receivers off the board, right? But you could get Odunze, who's also a stud. You could go Joe Alt and take the best tackle in the draft. You could go a number of different directions. So I think they're really like in the catbird seat because they don't need a quarterback. Like they're not pressed for that. And they could also trade that out and get a ton of capital. So I really like what the Chargers could do here. It could go a number of different ways, but I do like their possibilities.